a sad generation with happy pictures. Tell me about that. Tell me about that. I need to know about that. What is up, kings and queens? Today, we have our second installment of the H to the Power of 4 series called Happiness. And we have our guests in the house. We have Mimi. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm Mimi Ponya. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Andila, please introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. My name is Andila Mkize. Thank you for having me.
Akona, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Akona Mdambo. Nice to be here.
Manja.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mandla Ngidi. Nice to meet with you all. Thank you.
Cool. All right. So now we're gonna get into our talk of the day, right? So first and foremost, we're gonna kick it off by me asking you guys how you would define happiness. Anyone can go, like it doesn't have to be one person. Anyone can decide to give the definition, their personal definition.
Okay, I think I'll go first.
Okay.
My definition of happiness is a state of being content and just being okay with what you have and what you do, who you live with, and everyone around you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Okay, well, for me, I'd say happiness is recognizing and appreciating like the good things you have in your life, because sometimes it does outweigh the bad. So I think it's appreciating those good things.
True. Gentlemen.
Okay. For me, I'd say I first want to say it's actually an emotional response to a certain outcome. Because when something happens, it kind of determines how you are. And if I'd have to give a certain outcome that has brought happiness to me, it's peace. So I'd say that happiness is actually peace. I think that's the best way to describe it from my side.
True.
Yeah.
I think for me, I agree with all of you firstly, but I also relate so much with what Akona has said. With happiness also incorporates some sort of something which is sad, you know, something which is not always so good. So I'd say it's happiness,
Yeah.
state of satisfaction and completeness, and yeah, it's a state of comfort. Sometimes something might not be that good or that awesome, but it can still make you happy at the end of the day. Being able to achieve something can make you happy as much as you might not achieve it to the full spectrum that you were hoping or wanting to achieve it in that manner. But as long as you are satisfied with it, then you get happy, and that's completeness.
True, guys. Okay. Deep
Man.
definitions. All right, so you guys summed it up very nicely. Like, because I feel like peace, like what Andile said, a state of contentment, like what Mimi said, Umandla saying, basically, happiness is built in a way, like you make a choice to be happy. Because life is not always going to be favorable for you. It's not always going to go well. But you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, I choose to be happy. It's basically like a conscious choice that you make. Because sometimes we might base our happiness on like, when I get a new car, maybe I'll be happy. But to be honest, you are basically postponing your happiness in a way. You could be happy now on your journey to getting that car, but because you're thinking your happiness is in that car, what if that car comes and you literally don't feel happy at all, or it doesn't fulfill that void that you had? So it's like, just make a conscious choice every day to be happy. I think most people think happiness will be like you always smiling. And I think that's why you could go to the term peace rather. Because peace, literally, storms could be raging around you. But if you are peaceful, it's something deep within. It's something like deep within, that it's like whatever I see around me doesn't affect me because I have this peace inside of me. So I feel like instead of people thinking, yo, I'm happy because this person's always smiling. Sometimes you see someone that's always smiling, but deep down inside, they're going through the most. So it's like, it's a state of being. It's deeper than surface level, like what you see on the outside.
True.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to talk too much because this is all about you guys, not about me. So I don't want to talk that much. All right. So how do you guys think comparison basically affects our happiness? Be it comparing to others, thinking about where we aren't in life or haven't reached in life. How do you guys think that impacts our happiness?
Going in the same order.
Anyone, literally anyone. If you have an idea popping up in your head.
I'm literally looking at
say it.
Mimi, waiting for her to speak.
No, guys, anyone
You
can
need to
go.
go in the order. Literally, you go in any order. If there's a thought that comes to your head, just let it be.
Well, I think it's obviously affects us in a bad way, because I'd say the more you compare, the more you get blind. It's like it blinds you to seeing what you have and what you can become, because I know it happened to me. So I'm a finally a medical student, and by God's grace, I'm studying abroad. So when I had to come back home, I came back, my friends are driving cars and all of that stuff. And, I started looking at their life and then looking at my life, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? Am I really making progress? Until one day I was praying, and then God was just like, pause, look at what you have and where you headed, and look at what they have. And then imagine yourself in 2 years, you're probably going to have more than they actually have. So that's when my eyes actually opened. But the more I compared, I can say is the more your eyes close, because you don't realize what you have and what you can become.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, but comparing, sometimes it does help. Okay, you can see they have more. Maybe you also want to achieve what they have, so you push
True,
yourself.
it pushes, yeah.
Yeah. So it is also a good thing, but I'd say mainly it's a bad thing.
Yeah. I think
mostly because I feel like you get pressured. You feel pressure, like you get motivated, but then you now want to do it too quickly. Like you're trying to move time, and you're not trying to let nature take its course,
True.
So it's a good thing. Of course, it's a good thing. But my only issue is the pressure that you feel to trying to speed things and then end up messing up.
Yeah.
True. I couldn't agree more than you on that on the final note that yes, it's good to compare yourself with others. Sometimes it assists you, to go further and to push further in life. But also, it just somehow bring an element of doubt. Whether am I doing things the right way? Am I even supposed to be here right now? I mean, comparison of yourself with other people is a nature. I mean, naturally, it's an element of humans. We compare ourselves with whoever now and then, but now it requires one to have, a very stable mentality, a very balanced mentality, so that as you compare yourself, it doesn't drain you or it doesn't draw you back, because you have to compare yourself, but also never stop thinking of your goal. Where are you heading to? Rather than comparing yourself and give up, and you start to give up and say, no, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not doing well. So yeah, that's
True.
That's very true, guys. And also, I think comparison is inevitable. Anyone, either way, whether you like it or not. So yeah. But how I deal with it is reminding myself, I'm different. We're all different. We all have different ways to go and different dreams.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And like being in your own lane, own race, own lane type of thing, type of mentality of Awuti.
Own pace.
Yes, I own race, own pace. Yes, that's the one. So if you are looking at someone else and you're like, okay, it's okay. What you guys are saying, it's good to look at others and be like, okay, maybe this person inspires me because they have this, that, and the other. But as they say, too much of anything is bad for you. So like too much of comparing what you have and what someone else has will end up being bad for you in the long run. But yeah, like it's good to stay motivated in your own goals. Because sometimes if you're busy looking at someone else's life, you'll literally forget about what's going on in your life. And it's like, by the time you wake up and you snap out of it, it's like you are left behind even more than you would have if you had been like, okay, I see what you're doing. I'm inspired by what you're doing, but okay, let me continue with what I'm doing. And also another thing is we all have different timing as well. Like that is one thing I am struggling with, but I am learning these days is God's timing. And I'm just like, God, there are certain things I want right now, but I don't have those things. And I'm just like, it's a thing of I gotta trust God's timing, even when I don't see it. Because literally he sees the bigger picture. We just see a little bit, a glimpse of basically what's going on in our lives. And literally trusting his timing has been a challenging thing, but I'm working on it day by day. So guys, that brings me to my next question of how does social media impact our discontentment with life or where we are in life? Also, how does it inspire us in a way? Anybody?
I feel like everyone is just waiting for me.
Yeah, because you started the first one, so it's like, you know what?
Oh,
Take it away.
Go.
Lead us.
no.
Well, I think social media has so much influence on our lives, and it's really because of the fast, the world is growing so fast, it's changing so fast. We unfortunately can no longer escape it. We just can't escape social media because even the platform we are using now, it's part of social media, to be honest. So we can't escape it. But one is at some point, social media doesn't, what we find there is not always true and is not always something which is real. Some people supposedly of our age would be, showing somehow fancy lifestyle, beautiful cars, beautiful, holidays, resorts, and so on. So if you start to look into that and look into what you can enjoy at this point, at this age, somehow it takes you back, it drains you, you feel demotivated and like, how can a 21-year-old be living such a nice lifestyle, having so much, going to such nice places, while I am of the same age, but I'm stuck in Durban. I probably haven't went into any other province besides maybe KZN.
It's like, what am I doing wrong?
You ask yourself, where did it go wrong? And you even ask your parents. I remember there's this joke I used to ask my mom and say, Mom, some mothers are driving the G-Wagons and so on. Where have you been? Were you asleep or whatsoever? As much as it was a joke, but you end up having such questions. Were my parents asleep? Were they not smart enough in school? Why am I not enjoying the same privileges as other peers or people of my age? But at the same time, when you see someone of your age, think of someone who's an entrepreneur starting a small business. Maybe I start a business to wash sneakers around my township or around my streets. I get motivated. I see someone selling sweets or anything of that kind who's of my age. I get motivated and I can see I can also do something. I can also make a name out of myself. And you get to then understand that there are humble beginnings in life and that you probably have to start somewhere to get somewhere, because you see someone who's enjoying nice life out there of your age And I always tell my mind, his or her parents, they had to start somewhere. It wasn't, they probably never born that rich, So it's all a matter of understanding and a matter of, looking into whatever social media gives into you, look into it in all angles. You don't have to be to look at on one side, because it sometimes won't motivate you. But if you look into it holistically, then you get motivated with some of the things that you find there. Yeah. Set my piece.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very insightful. Thank you. That's very true. And I feel like it was someone speaking.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were speaking. So it's kind of like that thing of I had it, I lost it. So can someone please speak? Like I had it in my head. I'm gonna remember it just now. It's something to do with what Mandla said. But if anyone has a point, they can raise it.
Okay, for me, I'd say social media creates a sense of FOMO. Like you'd see some other people every week by Florida, they're having fun when you're just at home almost the whole month. So I'd
Just
say
at home looking crusty and just doing whatever.
It does hit you. And then it also kind of brings a certain like state of dissatisfaction. Like almost like the second point that we had comparing. It's also kind of like the same thing, I'd say.
So I think there's good and bad in everything, guys. Yeah. Whether it's social media or anything. So how I try to stay away from something that will invade my peace. I choose the type of content I want to go through, or the type of things I want to see on social media.
That's very true. Yeah. That's very, very true. Like, for example, let's say someone that is probably single, for example, and they go through, if you go to TikTok, you will see couples galore. I'm telling you now. Yo. And you will see couples galore and you'll just start feeling like,
my challenges.
No. So literally, personally, I stopped. When did I stop? I stopped like 2 weeks ago to go on TikTok because I was just like, you know what, God, I'm tired. Everywhere you literally scroll through and you just seeing couples, and I'm just like, guys, you know what? I'm out of here. So what you're saying is really, really true of the fact that you choose the content you want to see. Like, let's say maybe, for example, you saving up. I keep using the car example, but yeah, you're saving up to get a car. And you're seeing all these people on social media and Instagram posting with their G-Wagons and everything. Literally, I feel like, as much as it's hard sometimes to control what you see, because especially on Instagram, you're scrolling, and let's say the next picture is literally that car. I feel like you should just scroll very fast and then go to the next one. But like literally picking, it's what you're saying is almost like picking your battles in a way, of the fact that you know certain things you don't have. And your time is coming, but you don't need that extra pressure on you. So I feel like sometimes we are responsible for easing that pressure on ourselves. So yeah.
That's true. But I think the main point is like Lendisha Matt is the sad part about it is there's so many lies on social media. Like there's so many lies. But some I think it becomes positive if there's a story behind it. I don't know if it's just me, but like, when people are just showing off, you kind of feel like Leofomo. But if you get like a story behind it, like someone said, you can see how they grind it. I think that's where you kind of get motivation, and social media impacts you in a good way. But then for me, if I'm just seeing luxury, okay, yes, I get happy at first. I'm like, wow, there's such things. But of course that FOMO hits, But yeah. it's both good and bad, as we said. It's both good and bad.
Yeah.
But as Mimi said, I've also decided to cut off. If I see that it's toxic, it's gone. Like for me, it was Instagram, guys. I couldn't. I couldn't do Instagram.
For me, it's TikTok.
First of all,
Me
everyone is beautiful on
The
Instagram.
pressure.
Everyone looks good on Instagram. No, I'm done. I was like, nah.
And you really can't, put a picture of the same outfit that you've once posted 3 months ago.
It's stress.
No. Pressure.
Literally, they're starting to have like tutorials on how to, like on TikTok, they had like tutorials on how to change up the same, let's say the same pair of jeans and change it up with the same with different tops
T-shirts.
or something like that, or t-shirts.
Okay.
So maybe that might work. But sometimes social media really is toxic. Like too much of it is toxic. And it's correct, you guys. Okay. Which brings us to each person, their sources of happiness. What do they? It doesn't have to only be one. It can be more than one.
My source of happiness is helping out you guys. Just knowing that someone is happy because of you melts my heart. And then secondly is achieving small goals. Like it doesn't have to be something big. Just go small, step by step. That's an achievement.
True.
And also music. Music makes me happy.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Next
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, well, for me, it's quite similar to what Umin was saying. Helping out, making a difference. I wake up every day telling myself that I will make a difference against all odds, no matter what, how busy I am, how stressed, how frustrated I am, but I will just make a difference to one person or two. And well, I think food makes me happy as of late. I don't know, but I get so much happy when I eat something nice. And luckily, I don't gain weight, so I can stuff myself with anything.
God's favorite.
So food is my treasure. I love food so much. And what else? It actually, targeting something and actually meeting that target, irrespective of the time. But also, I like to have specific time frames on what I want to achieve, and so on. So yeah, that's for me.
Next person.
I'd say hanging out with my family, because actually we're also like far apart. So when we're all together, I think that makes me really happy. I don't know, chilling with my friends. If we're like doing something, especially if we're doing something, then I don't know, that also brings me like happiness.
It's really cool.
Well, for me, it's basically everything you guys said, especially the music and the food part and the family. But I could say that my main source, if I'm really being honest, is my relationship with God. Because it's how I've been surviving. Honestly speaking, it's how I've been surviving. Even my life rules come from reading the Word. So helping out, being kind, showing love. Because the Bible says God is love. So all of those things that I learned from the relationship I have with God, I could say brings out everything. But that's the main source. That's the main source.
Interesting.
Yeah. So basically, you guys end up saying everything that I would say. So if I'm taking from all of you guys, it's everything. Relationship with God, food, donuts. My gosh, Krispy Kreme, Lord.
Krispy Kreme.
Music, yo, guys, music. Like we would be here all day if I talk about how much music literally gets me into the zone of like, literally, it's been a stressful year this year. Like, Mandla, you know why it's been a stressful year. You know, because UKZN wants us dead. but we are still alive.
Not getting any better.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, guys, and helping out, just making a difference in someone's life. Like, I feel like at some point someone has said, would say, if you want to feel content, or if you sometimes want to feel like a load off in your own things, if you help someone out with their issues or something like that, you suddenly feel like you feel a bit easier, and whatever you are going through is kind of slowly getting better. Not to say that you shouldn't deal with your own things, because that you have to deal with your own things, but like helping others kind of makes you aware of certain things that maybe you weren't aware of, even in yourself and others around you. You learn compassion, you learn grace for others. So yeah. Yep. So your take on, I know we had the segment on the healing part, but I also want to know from you guys, mental health and happiness. Tell me about that. A person's mental health, and with all the pressures going on as young people that we've spoken about, how can one even imagine being happy with all the mental health issues going on, all the things that knock at your mental health, like depression, all these other things? What is your take on that?
There's a saying I once heard that says that you cannot defeat the world if you cannot defeat the war. Like you cannot conquer the world if you cannot conquer the war inside your head, you know, which is saying about that mental space. For me, guys, as I said, that my relationship with God is like the source. So how I keep saying is literally by speaking more to God, because He knows everything. You know, there are some things that people say but have not lived. Like I remember there was a point in my life where I used to say, okay, God is like the Prince of Peace, but I really didn't know what that meant until a certain thing happened, and I seeked for that peace and I found it. So for me, I find how can I say this? Yeah, I find peace in everything through that relationship, as I was saying, you know. And once I get stressed or anything, I just remember that there's someone greater that is with me, you know, that just has my back. So when that happens, there, I'm just okay. I'm just okay. But it's very important to really win the battle in the head first, because after you've done that, I think nothing can stop you. I don't think anything can stop you then.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Also, I think you know, happiness and mental health and so on. First is that we must acknowledge that we go through so much and we need to seek help. I don't want to lie. If you feel like you are overwhelmed, you are depressed, you are stressed, you name all those mental health related terminology. But it's important to seek for help. If for most of us, I think we are students here, we can use the facilities available to us in our institutions. And for other people, I've been seeing things on social media where you can call a certain toll-free number and you can get, you know, mental health assistance for like 30 to 45 minutes. It's very important that we take those opportunities. We must not ignore what we feel. We must not ignore that you are feeling overwhelmed, but just get the right people to talk to, and just have your mind into shape, have your mind into a right state. And I think if that is done in the correct way, that cannot stop you from being happy. But if you have mental issues that you are not addressing, you are definitely not going to be happy.
Yeah.
We have less than a minute, so I don't want the person who's going to speak just now to be cut off. So you guys can go off this meeting and then I'll start the meeting again with the same link. Is that okay?
Okay.
Right. Okay. So Andile had asked, does overthinking impact a person's happiness? And as an overthinker, I will tell you guys that it does most times, but I feel like you should be mindful of what you think about and when. Yeah, be mindful of what you think about, because sometimes if you overthink things, you'll end up thinking of things that are not there, maybe, or thinking way too ahead of the situation. Like, this is what has happened now, for example, this is what has happened now. And then let's say you get called in for a job interview, right? Your overthinking self will be like, what if I don't get the job? What if this, that, and the other? What if this goes wrong? And most of the time, out of like there's more times where you overthink bad things more than what if I do get the job type of thing. So that's where you need to control your thoughts in that, okay, I get the fact that it could go wrong, but also I need to open possibilities of the fact that it could go right. And what will happen if I entertain that thought? Obviously, if you entertain the positive thought, it's good. But also it's good to be cautious in the way of, okay, if it doesn't happen, then all right. There's constructive thinking, there's like detrimental thinking of, oh my gosh, if I don't get the job, I am doomed for life. All right, so don't do that. But if it's like literally this just, for example, it's a good example because it just happened to me recently. It was a job that I really wanted, right? So it actually so happened that there's something that I didn't do right, and I wasn't able to get in because one of the requirements I didn't fulfill, right? And everyone around me was saying, oh, I got you had to write the entry exam. And everyone was like, I got into the entry exam. And I was just like, my gosh, I put myself in this situation. And I won't lie, I was sad about it for like a good couple of hours. And I literally beat myself up. I was like, how could you make such a stupid mistake? But at the same time, I was just like, okay, calm down, breathe. It's a mistake that anyone could have made. What happens now? How do we move forward? So I feel like we can channel our mind to not break us down completely, but also to be like, okay, let's accept what happened and how do we move on type of thing. So yeah, I've said my piece. Now back to me asking you guys questions. All right, so there's this saying that people have adopted now of Uguti, we are, what is it? A sad generation with happy pictures. Tell me about that. Tell me about that. I need to know about that. Tell me about that. What is your take on that whole quote of sad generation with happy pictures?
I hate the quote. I hate the phrase wholeheartedly. Because it for me, it's like people of our age or our generation, we are expecting things to be as smooth as ever, It's not like things have been happening quite differently for the other generation, well, let alone the development in the world and the revolutions and so on. But it's part of our lives to have some setbacks. It's part of our lives to be sad. It's part of your life to apply for a job and don't get it. But that doesn't mean you are a sad generation because yesterday you failed your interview and today you are posting a nice picture of yourself. It doesn't mean that you are a sad generation because maybe your relative has passed on last week or today or whatsoever, and then you post nice pictures, and it doesn't mean you are hiding your happiness, or you are hiding how sad you are because you are posting a nice picture or so on. It's just what has to happen. It goes back to the point of how do you make yourself happy? What do you do to make yourself happy? So we cannot shy away from the fact that life, we go through some hardship, some pain, some heartbreaks, some heartaches, and so on. But then to come to a phrase of saying, sad generation with good pictures, man, no. I just don't accept it.
True. Anyone else? What do you guys think about the saying?
So I don't know how I feel about it, right? But somehow it's true. Because a lot of young people who pass on, guys, it's because of mental issues and depression and your anxieties and stuff. So and most of the time it's people we see on social media who say, "Well, these people are happy, these people are living the lives of like the best lives ever." And then when it happens, they pass on, it becomes a shock. It's how ganjani, because this person seemed really happy. So it's about time we become real with our inner selves and deal with what's inside before acting out or living to the standards of this world actually.
Very true.
I agree with Umi because even on social media, you don't see like the sad pictures. If you are sad, you should post that because we all go through that at some
Yeah.
point in our lives. But no one ever posts that. So
I
I don't
think
know. I agree with Umi.
I think the thing with posting that, right, is what I've realized once again, TikTok, my addiction. I'm getting better. I promise, I'm getting better. But like, literally, I've seen. Yeah, you get the comments. Someone posting a picture, maybe not a picture, a video of them crying, maybe, right? And some in the same set of comments, okay, you'll find those that are sympathetic and they're like, okay, we got you, we're here for you, this, that, and the other. Then you get those that are just like, oh, this person is looking for attention and whatnot. So the thing is, it gets hard. It really gets hard. Like literally you'll find yourself, let's say 5 minutes before I got into the Zoom, I was bawling my eyes out crying. And then I rock up to you guys and I'm pretending to be the way that I am now. It's because, firstly, it's because I know for me, when I'm a person, let me speak from personal experience. I know when I'm upset, I'll try hold a conversation with someone else, a normal conversation, so that they don't see what's going on with my life. Because it's hard for you to know whether the other person on the other end actually really cares to listen to what's going on in your life, or they just pretending to care. Like literally that question of how are you in itself. A person could literally ask you, how are you, and not even care to listen to how you really are. It's just formality of yo, hi, how are you? Because that's how we speak. Because that's why you see people, even if you meet each other, maybe at the mall or somewhere, it's like, hey, how are you? Oh, fine, cool, bye. You're gone, just like that. So it's like, it's hard for people to find a safe space. And I feel like as right now, all of us are into helping people out and whatnot. I feel like even generally as young people, it should be our task to kind of create safe spaces for people. Not Uguti, we must carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. No, that's not what I mean. But like, if someone is like, okay, I need someone to listen. Sometimes some people don't actually open up that fast, right? Sometimes if you see someone, okay, you look like you down. Do you want someone to speak to? And if they say no, be like, okay, fine. But I'm here if you ever need that. And a person knowing that you are there is really comforting. And to know genuinely that you are genuinely there, not just because you just want to know the latest news of what's going on in their lives. No, you're actually there because you care. You really want to be there. So I feel like that's why people resort to the whole thing, sad generation, happy pictures, because no one really cares to see your sad pictures. It's an unfortunate truth. People want to see you flourishing in those big cars and whatnot. But the truth is, if your internal environment is not going well, that's why, as Umemi said, you find people committing suicide that have everything. They have everything you can think of. The money, everything. That's why people say that you mustn't wish to have someone else's life, right? Because you don't know what they go through behind closed doors. And you could find that someone who looked super happy in their picture commits suicide the next minute. And literally some people, think about it. Think about maybe your friends or some people that you've known. Maybe they go to their statuses and they pick maybe a quote that says, "I'm not okay." And how many times you've actually passed that by just thinking, maybe this person is just posting for the sake of posting, or they don't really need someone for real, for real. They were fine just yesterday. Think about how many times you've actually passed that by. And sometimes for real, some people quotes speak what they are trying to say better than how they would ever say it. So I feel like we should just pay attention to these things. And when a person's crying for help, sometimes it won't literally be you rocking up with a selfie. "Oh, I'm crying." No, it's literally the little things. You just have to pay attention enough to be that friend that is there for people. You can't be there for everyone, but like start with your circle in a way. So yeah, I've said a lot. Sorry. But like, yeah. Anyone else want to add anything in terms of that phrase of sad generation, happy pictures, along those lines?
That's the sad truth. That's all I could say too. Because I remember, Face, one thing we see our brothers and sisters on videos, clubs out there, Corona, and then next thing, you hear that a lot of them are in the hospital trying to commit suicide for real. Because one of my friends told me that, like a ton of young people are coming in with attempted suicide. And they're like, what is going on? So as much, it's not a nice statement though. I, for one, wouldn't like to be known as a part of a sad generation, but currently it's reality. But we can just hope that we will notice that we shouldn't be living for other people. No, we should be true to ourselves so that we can actually genuinely be happy.
True. That's true. And also we all have different coping mechanisms, I can say, of dealing with the pains that we have. Some coping mechanisms are good, some are bad. Some do ease the pain temporarily, but sometimes it's important, as Umanja was saying, to actually get people you can talk to, get help if you need. Like, if there's one thing, we were talking about this in the healing video of mostly the Black community. The Black community doesn't really believe too much in the whole concept of therapy. It's seen as something that's a bit frowned upon, of the fact that, why do you need to go talk to a total stranger about something you could talk to with your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother? Sometimes it's not the same. It's not the same. Literally, for me, it was, when was it? I think in my second year. My second year, I was going through some stuff. And talking to my own friends wasn't enough for me. It literally felt like they were just telling me what I want to hear. And I wanted someone who was going to look at it objectively and not tell me you are right or whatnot. Just tell me the truth. So I literally ended up confiding in someone that was a stranger. I'd met her twice on campus. And then literally that one time I was like, I let out everything. And literally she could give me the advice I needed, because she wasn't looking at it in a subjective manner, but she was looking at it according to the truth of the story that I'm telling her and what it's all about. So I feel like therapists are there to do that in a way. Like, we're not saying that therapists are always right or are perfect people, but they're there for that purpose. of being objective, not always taking your side or taking the other person's side, but just for you to speak, And I feel like there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable and showing your emotions in a way. And I feel like that's one thing that all of us have to learn as well as young people, because a lot of us are surrounded by people that are happy with the idea of me being nonchalant. I mean, Angie, angithintwa lapho kwi-vulnerability, akusi mina nje loyo, it's not for me. But the thing is, most probably the same person that's saying it's not for them, it hits them harder when they're by themselves.
Yeah.
Rather than you just being like, okay, honestly, if someone hurt you, Lalela, you did this, you did that, I didn't like it. Full stop, sort it out, move on. Literally, I feel like a lot of hurt or built up or bottled up emotions would actually be sorted out if people just were open to being like, okay, asikhulume le ndaba, ngicasulile, let's work it out. And yeah. Does anyone else want to add anything? I feel like I'm talking a lot, guys. Excuse.
It's just enough. It's enough.
Okay. All right. So I think we can just, is there anything else you guys want to add before we skip into giving people advice? I think I've given people a lot of advice. Me, I'm gonna skip this part. All of you guys are gonna give people advice. I'm not gonna say anything. All right. Me uzosiqalela nge-advice. Our leader, speak.
Okay, so my advice would be, guys, do not conform to the standards of this world. Don't. Focus on your own lane, own race, and put God first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Akona?
I'd say focus on the positives of life and just focus on the positive.
And Dile?
Yeah, both of what the ladies said, and mostly, have a relationship with God, because the word said He's the way, the truth, and the life. So once you have a relationship, you already have a way, and you can finally live in truth. And once you have the way and truth, you have life. So I think that's the best way to go about it. Find the way, find the truth, and you'll get the life. Yeah.
Mandla?
Fix your eyes to the goal. No matter what, just keep your eyes to the ball. You know, you can go through so much, but just fix your eyes to the ball. Allow the experience whatever that you need to experience the pain if you need to, experience the laughter if you have to, sadness if you have to, but just do not move your eyes onto the ball. Just fix your eyes to the ball, and then everything will just fill up itself. Everything will fall into place.
True.
One more thing, like don't do things to get people's approval, because it's not gonna end well, you know.
Yeah.
Most people actually don't care. That's what we don't understand. Most people are just actually focusing on their life. They're also trying to make it. So now, if you're trying to get their approval, they're just gonna be like, "Hey, what's trailer be alone? That's not down at night," because we're trying to figure out our own stuff, you know. So like, if you posting stuff just to get likes, hey, you know, it's not gonna work. So don't seek people's approval. Don't seek people's approval.
And also just go, like, whatever you want to do, fear can cripple you as a person, and fear can also steal your happiness. So if you feel like you want to do something, other than probably committing murder, please don't do that. I'm talking about like something, something constructive. Like if you feel like doing something constructive and the word says, whatever you put your mind to, do it, for the Lord is with you. So do it, guys, do it. You're given the ability to think. You're given the ability to do something. I think fear cripples us as young people. Same fear of fearing what people will think of you. And Andy was right, Tuguti. Most people just don't get. There's this other quote. It's people don't actually pay that much attention to you that you think they actually do. So like you might think that people are just always like, yo, what is this person doing? Oh, they made the wrong turn. Why? No, literally people are going on with their lives. They happen to meet up with you along the journey, but you continue with your journey. And also, I will always say this in all my videos, pray, guys, Tandazani, it's a rough road out there. We need Jesus. So yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. We're gonna wrap it up. Is there anything you guys wanna add before I wrap it up?
We definitely need Jesus. Definitely.
Yeah, but
Yeah, everyone needs a source of strength.
amen.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good? Do you wanna do like a Yazin, for this one, I'm gonna let you guys tell the people to like, subscribe, comment, click the notifications bell. All of y'all do that as I sit back.
Not love, no.
What's the name of the show? Like we'll do a chain. What's the name of the show?
It's well, this is the end of the happiness segment of the H to the power of 4 series. Just say it's the end of the happiness segment.
Hectic.
Just say it's the end. Okay. I will nigga my direction. Umandla Uzwati, this is the thank you guys for coming. This is the end of the happiness segment. Akona is going to say, please do not forget to subscribe to my girl's channel, Nolu Love Mac. Akona will Mimi will say, please leave a thumbs up and comment, and Andy will say, please click the post notifications bell to get a notification every time she posts a new video. All right. Take it away, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the end of the 4H Happiness crew, and thank you for joining us.
Please don't forget to subscribe to my girls' channel.
Mimi.
Please leave a thumbs up and don't forget to comment down below.
And don't forget to press the post notification with the bell so that you can get notified every time she posts something. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.